We are here.
Welcome.
Welcome again.
Oh, welcome back. Yes.
Welcome back.
Hmm.
We are adjusting to this instrument.
That's fine.
We are the Galactic Federation of Love and Light.
Welcome.
A group, as she thinks of.
A group.
What we mean is she was thinking that we are a group
Yes.
of the Galactic Federation
Yes.
of Love and Light, you
Mm.
see. Yes.
A part of it.
Yes.
Yes. That's fine.
You could ask.
Okay. We have been talking about energy in our recent videos, what it is, and that we can communicate with it. I'd like to talk about food in terms of energy. We had a long chat about this a couple of weeks ago in our human time. You taught a lot, but I can remind you of some of the things that I learned. Like all objects and anything else in existence, food is in essence energy. We've mentioned in recent videos that we can communicate with energy, so we can communicate with our food as energy is receptive and aware. The frequency of the energy can be changed by the person who cooked or prepared the food in the same way that a person building a table can impart or contribute a frequency to the energy of the table while making it. We use that example in the video we made about energy. The experience we have while eating food can depend on the frequency we are at while eating it. Being thankful to the food for taking its form in order to be experienced as a meal can be beneficial, and the eating experience tends to be better if we are present in the moment while eating. Can you please explain these things in more detail for us? Or even say what food is?
We'll set it again. Food, as your beings know it as, it's energy. It's energy that have taken that form. You see, of your meals and everything that contributes to that. You see,
Yes.
it's just energy that has taken those forms. And it's given or it is being used as a fuel for your physical body. You see,
Yes.
in essence, it's energy feeding energy.
Yes.
You see, because your body is also energy. But the food itself is there for you to experience it too. Food is not only about eating something in order for you to just feel full and to have enough nutrients for your body to work. That's one aspect. But there are other aspects to why food is important, you see. Food is something that is very, of course, attached and is part of that reality that you are in, you see. It's your fuel.
Fuel?
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, for your physical side, you see. But at the same time, it is an experience, you see, that everyone goes through, that everyone experiences, you see.
Yes.
The experience can vary according to where you're at and according to who you are in that moment when you are about to have that experience of eating, you see. So we'll say first that as anything in your life, you experience life according to where you are at energetically, let's say, or if you want to call it your frequency or your vibration, you see, because remember that you are creators And as a creator, you create your experiences regardless whether you are aware of it or not. The same thing applies with food, you see. So you have that experience that is part of your reality, you see, the act of eating. However, you can enhance that experience by being in a frequency of that true being that you are, or you can make it worse, let's say, by being in lower frequencies, you see.
Yes.
So that you are going to have that experience anyway, let's say, because of the reality that you are in. And there is energy that has taken the form in order to be used for your physical body, you see. So therefore, it is up to you just how you want to experience that creation, you see, that experience. So it can vary according to your frequency. So if you are being that true being that you are, and you're having a good day, let's say, and you're feeling good and you're feeling happy, it is more likely that your experience with food will be of the same kind. You see, you're going to enjoy it more. You're going to feel inspiration to eat something particular, maybe. You're just going to feel happy with what you're eating, you see, because that is the energy that you are emitting, you see. When you are in a different frequency, let's say you're feeling a bit sad or angry or moody, you see, you are going to experience the act of eating through that frequency too. That could be maybe not even experiencing the meal at all, just masticating the food and feeling full at the end, but not really going through the flavors that your actual meal has, you see. Or you might end up with a meal that you might not like it, or it's not how you expect it, or things like that, because you are already in a certain frequency, you see. So let's say if two beings go to a restaurant, they are going to meet up, and one of them don't even want to see the other person, you see, and it's so sad, and I'm wasting my time, I could be doing something else, but I just have to go and have lunch with this person for whatever reasons, you see. Could be work related, could be anything. So the other person is just happy going through the day, and then it's time to have lunch. Now they both sit down, you see, and they order the meal, you see. So even they could both order the same thing, or very similar meals. One is already in a certain frequency from the start, by not wanting to go, but imagining how time wasted the actual situation or experience is, then that is not going to enjoy the conversation, doesn't even want to be there, you see. There's a lot already that could have put that being in a certain frequency, you see. So the other one is just enjoying, it's just being, you see. That it's more in a allowing mode, let's say, or a stage. I just feel a bit of energy.
That's okay.
So they are already in a different frequency, and guess what? You are always emitting that energy where you are at, you see. So you're going to experience according to what you are allowing, you see. So therefore, you are sitting, both having sharing some time, whatever you're talking about, and the meals are now ready.
Yes.
Now, one person orders something and it looks beautiful, yummy, let's say. It's warm, it's just exactly how that person wanted. And the other one, it's already complaining, because even when she order, let's say a she or a he, so was not even sure of what he wanted. So I don't know, maybe this, maybe that, but maybe they don't cook this how I like it, or maybe this, you say, or maybe it's not gonna be fresh, or whatever it is. They're already building up things in their head. Okay, so anyway, the meal is here now, it's ready, it looks fine, but there is already a bit of resistance there, you see. Like, doesn't look as how that person expected, you see. Anyway, they're about to eat and they're enjoying, and one of them, the one in a higher frequency, say, what a delicious meal, you see. It is nice, and she's enjoying it and everything goes well, and the other one is complaining. So my steak, let's say, was cold. It's too hard, you see, too hard to masticate,
cut,
yes, to cut, or whatever it is, and it's already having different experience, you see. But the other one, it's okay, and the one that is in a low frequency is also getting more upset of seeing the other person enjoying her meal, you see. And the other one will say, no, it is fine, mine is fine. You see, maybe it could be better, but I'm very happy with this, you see. It's just fine. So as a result, they are experiencing a different meal, and the other person might complain about the food and they have to bring another one, but she's already in a certain frequency of not allowing a good experience, you see. So what we're saying this then is that there are, with that meal, there were many potentials, you see. But the one that has been suitable for where you are at is the one that you're going to align to and manifest.
Yes.
You see. So the other person was in a calm, just being, enjoying. You see, so they got a nice meal. She was happy with it. It could have been better, maybe. However, she was in a frequency of allowing enough, and therefore end up with a better experience. You see, that's one aspect. Where you are at, it's important to know, because remember that you are going to align to those potentials within that frequency, right?
Yes.
As much as you allow it. So that's one thing. The other one is the food itself is having its own experience as being that meal.
Yes.
You see, whatever the ingredients are, whatever it is, it's the energy within is experiencing, and it's aware of what it is. You see, doesn't mean that it's not the name of the dish, as how you might know it.
Yes.
But it's just the experience of being food.
Yes.
Of being a meal, and the interaction that it's going to have with the human being, you see. So the meal itself is going to be radiating, let's say, certain energy, you see. And then that energy is going to align with your energy, you see. So that means that you are going to experience the food according to what you are allowing, and the food itself is going to experience being consumed, let's say,
Yes.
or just being what it is as food through the interaction of you two. You see, it's going to experience your moodiness, your not happiness about it. Doesn't mean that it's going to feel bad about it. It's just energetically allowing you to experience that too, because the meal, the two of them could have the same meal. It's exactly the same, but because they're in a different frequency, the meal, it's being neutral.
Yeah, neutral.
Neutral.
Yeah.
Okay. And therefore, it's saying we're just experiencing being.
Yes.
And we are aware of it. And as we are radiating energy, our energy, let's say, is going to adjust or change. It's going to adjust to yours in order to allow you to experience us, or to experience the meal according to where you are at, you see. Because it's energy, you see. So that means that it will act like a magnet, you see, in a way. It's going to adjust to that. And that's how people end up having different experiences, even in the act of eating, you see. Now, when you are having a meal, most of your time you're not even there. You're not even present, you see. you are on, maybe you're on your phone, so thinking about something or whatever it is that you're doing, but you're not putting the focus on the actual act that you're doing. And eating, it is another manifestation, you see. It's another creation that you have. So since you're going through that process, why not enjoy it as much as you can? And that can also help you to increase your frequency, you see, because it's being present, you see. You have to play there. And even if you were a bit moody before, but if you are there and you are saying, well, I'm going to enjoy this meal, I'm really going to connect to it because this is what I'm doing now. I've been present, you see. I'm going to enjoy the flavors of it. It doesn't matter what it is or how it is. I'm just going to be fully there, enjoying it. And just by bringing that, you see, by thinking that even when you might not have your meal yet, or even if you have it, your food is going to align with that thought, you see. So it's going to align to that energy, and you're going to have the best experience that you can according to what you are allowing, you see, regardless whether you were a little bit moody before, but now you are allowing more of a frequency, or a better frequency, by actually being present. But stop thinking, you see, but start focusing on other things and just say, I am enjoying this right now, you see. And therefore you're going to have a better experience, you see. Now, when the person cooking the meal, the influence that it can have doesn't mean that it could, let's say, potentially change the energy of it completely, because each part of it is its own energy and having an experience, just as the actual meal. And then all together now as a meal. But as we're saying, as it's being created, it's like adding, if the person is happy, it's like adding love to the food. You see, it's like adding a bit more of salt, adding a bit more of love, because that's what the person cooking is feeling, you see. So the food is going to feel that, you see, because it's going to align to that love that the person is cooking, you see, to the person who's cooking. So it's gonna feel that, it's going to align, it's gonna be beautiful. And the process of cooking even is going to be simple, simpler, maybe if the person does how they wants, you see. Everything's gonna go smoothly, you see. As Stephanie, as what we're recalling from Stephanie, there are those cooking shows, and they get things wrong, let's say, when they're cooking on the normal days, you see. They are saying this usually doesn't happen to me, you see. This I don't know why I didn't see how much salt I put or whatever it is. Why? Because they are in a different frequency. They're feeling stressed, they're feeling the pressure, they're focusing on that, and therefore they're aligning to potentials that are according to that, you see. And therefore they start experiencing things that they usually don't experience. Maybe the food gets burned, you see. Maybe they put too much salt, things that it might look illogical for them, but in that moment that's what they're aligning with, you see. So the same thing goes for the person cooking meals anywhere, you see. Goes smoothly, has fun, you see. Even the fresh food are just right, you see. Fruits or vegetables, whatever it is, you see. Everything is just so well. And guess what? That meal is going to align with someone who is also within that frequency, or is allowing that frequency too, you see. So everything is just an experience, you see. Where if the chef is in a different mood, feeling stress and things like that, then things might not go as smoothly as it might want, you see. Things might get burned, as we mentioned, or there is now a lot of people, let's say, in the restaurant or even at home, or maybe it's run out of something, you see, whatever it is. Now there is a pressure, and the meal itself will align to that, you see. Now, that plate will still be made and you're still gonna have the food. Now, if you are in a certain frequency that would align to that, then you are going to experience that according to what you're allowing, you see. Like the chef itself already had that experience that it was quite in a high frequency, and therefore if there is someone else not in that high frequency, well, it makes sense that it's going to align to that person, you see.
Yes.
Because it is just energy. The energy is doing this all the time, let's say. It's like alert. It's just alert. It's just very receptive, and,
Yes.
and it's going to align with the energy that are on in the same frequency, you see. But now, hey, okay, you were moody and now you see your plate, but then you put the intention that you're going to be present and you're going to enjoy this meal and it's gonna be amazing, you see. Now guess what? The food itself now, it's aligning to that thought, and you're going to experience the meal at the best that it can be in that moment because of you allowing a bit more, you see.
Yes.
It might not be the same as if you were in a higher frequency of being your true self and seeing everything with love and light and experiencing through that, you see. But it's going to be better that if you were in a frequency of not even caring at all, focusing on other things, you said stress and worry and whatever else it is. But just even by having the thought, by having the intention that you're just going to be present and enjoy the food and feel that love and be thankful for the experience, you see, then the food itself is gonna be as the best it can be according to how much you are allowing in that moment, you see. So therefore your experience is going to change, it's going to be different, and all these things, it happens so quick, you see.
Yes.
That it might not make sense through your human mind, you see, because it is happening energetically, you see.
In an instant.
In an instant, yes.
And when you originally were talking about this with us, I felt so bad when you gave the example. You could look at the food and say, "Oh, that looks horrible," and that just made me feel, really hit me, the amount of times I've told the food that it looks awful or horrible. It's receptive to this, you know. So
what it is happening, and the food is not saying, "Hey, why do you call me that?" You see, it's not saying that. The food is saying, "Well, if you think I'm horrible, I will align with that and show you that I'm horrible." You see.
Yeah, not offending it, but it does affect the energy, how you look, how you perceive it.
It reciprocates.
Reciprocates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what would be?
I guess so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
We are just trying to use words so we can find.
Okay, sure. Yeah. It'll just align with what you make of it, and so that's very good.
So therefore, what we will say then is that another thing is, because of the frequencies where you're at, what we were talking so far was about the experience, you see. But having that experience will also have an impact of what the actual food does to you, to your actual body. Because it's like putting a low frequency energy inside you, you see, because you're not aligned with it, you're not focused with it, you're not happy with it, and you're still eating it. It's like you are eating a low energy frequency, putting into your body, you see, which that's where you are at anyway, you see. So you are aligning with that frequency that you are at, let's say. So then what could happen is, let's say if you're eating a cake and you're not even happy with the cake, and then you have the belief that the cake is gonna make you fat, and you're not happy with it, and you're complaining about it, but hey, you still eat it, you see. Therefore, what is gonna happen is exactly what you are aligning with, and what is aligning with your beliefs, that is going to make you fat, and so it will, you see. Because remember, your human size, your vehicle, and your vehicle's gathering any tool that it can in order to allow you to experience that reality, you see, that physical aspect. So the tools could be thoughts, belief, ideas. So they say, all right, you're thinking that it will make you fat, we'll grab that
Yes.
that, because you are in that frequency. If you are complaining about the cake, you're not happy with it, and you're not even sure about having it, but you're still having it, and it makes sense to use that belief now because it is aligning with where you are at. And as a result, that's what you experience. You're not even focused on the actual moment of enjoying it. You just have complained because it might look dry or whatever it is, but you're just going ahead and eating it.
Yes.
See? So just remember that eating, it's another creation, it's another manifestation. So if you have to experience it because it is also part of your reality, it's something that you do every day and something that everyone go through it, let's say. So why not try to get the best out of it, you see? Be in peace with whatever you eat, and if you're not, then think back. Where are these thoughts coming from? Is it truly for my true being, or is it more from my human side? By my human side with me, thoughts, ideas, beliefs that you have gathered from your own reality. People telling you that this makes you fat. People telling you that you shouldn't be eating too much of that, and things like that. You see.
Or should be eating vegetables
should be
when I don't eat very much vegetables, and it's still okay.
Yes. So we want to say then, your eating experience will vary, and it does vary, and you can notice that maybe when you're out with other beings, and you will have a different experience according to where you are at energetically or in your frequency, and whether you are in peace with the food or not, you see, and whether you have already been in a certain frequency and you are about to experience that, you see, from that place you're at. And another thing is as well, when you're not present, actually being part of that creation, enjoying it, you're just elsewhere but not actually there, you see.
Yeah.
So it is a better experience when you become present. You align with self, with that, and you are in peace with whatever that you are about to eat. You see.
You eat for the experience and say, this is going to be very pleasurable, this experience. And you talked about that with Stephanie eating cake before, and how she was able to, when she did align with it, eat the cake. It was not fattening. Her body processed it very quickly. We talked about this in the last video. But even if you're at peace with it at the time of eating, then you feel guilty later on. That's not good either, is it? You've got to maintain that. And
yes, because if there is that transition, if there is that change, whether now I feel good and then later not, then that means that your belief that it still will have that impact on your body, will make you fat. Let's say it is still there. It is still present, you see, and that could help you to realize, okay, am I still thinking that? Do I truly believe that? If so, what would I do next? When next time I want a cake, would I eat it just anyway, or would I think whether I am in alignment with what I'm eating, and then have the experience? You see.
So if we used an example, say like a glass of water, and you were, say, sending it love before you drank it, it doesn't change that it's water. All of that is still the same, the energy of the water, but there is a higher frequency to that water now, isn't it? And it's instant. It's just instant. Instantly, you've sent love to it.
Same as the water has been used for sort of your kind as a technique to manifest things or wealth or things like that, you see, because they are aware of the changes of the energy. Well, it happens the same thing with all the food that you're eating. It doesn't have to be in order to get something, but rather you are getting something, you are getting a better experience, and you're aligning with that, and also your frequency even can improve, let's say, or change by you making the choice that you are going to be present and enjoying the meal you're eating, you see.
Yes.
That it's not just the water changing to that frequency of love, you see. Yes, you can drink it, as what this being does. She now that she knows that she doesn't drink a glass of water without sending love to the water and saying thank you for being such a great source of energy, you see.
Yes.
and then she has a different experience, and that water too, it's working through the high frequency.
Yes.
You see, through her body and soul. So therefore the same thing happened with any food, any meal. So we will recommend, because of course it is your choice, it is your free will to do this, but we recommend to align yourself with whatever that you are eating, because it is an experience. You see.
Yeah. So say, thank you for taking this form as my meal, whatever it is. Thank the food for being that, and so you've got it's your gratitude and you're appreciating it, and you're consuming it. It does change the frequency of the food, and you become alignment with it.
And enjoy it. Truly enjoy it. Be present. Enjoy the flavors. And if the meal then end up, it is not as what you expected, well, guess what? It could now be the best version that it could be at that time, because now you have actually, let's say, allowed more. You see,
yes.
Maybe you were in a lower frequency and the food was already aligning to that, but now they had enough time to increase a little bit more and for you to have a better experience. So become aware of that too, and say, okay, I was feeling this, I am aware where I was at. Maybe that wasn't the best meal, you see. But it wasn't bad, and I had the experience.
Yes.
And now I know what I don't like, maybe. You see, maybe I don't like the meat when it's in this way, or things like that. But I'm fine with it, because I'm happy that I have the experience. And I'm aware that this was a result, or of where I am at energetically, let's say. You see?
Yeah.
So you are still in peace with it. You see, and that will also raise your, as your people say, vibration. You see,
okay,
and you are present with that. Doesn't mean that you cannot experience something better. Yes, you can, because when you are in a certain alignment, even where you want to go, it's going to align with you. You might not feel like you want to go to this restaurant today, and you feel like you want to go to this one. You see, because maybe the experience is aligning to where you're at. You see, you might have a better experience at that place. You see, things like that, according to what you allowed. You see.
Okay, so is all food the same except for our beliefs and expectations?
Yes.
So I think you did say to Stephanie she could eat the cake and think of it as protein, and the body, if she believed it, the body would take it as protein. Is that?
In a way, it is, you see.
Yeah.
Because you are manipulating energy by thought as you are a creator. And people will say, this sounds amazing, but it also sounds fantasy.
Yes.
Or there are other words that they might use.
Yes.
But what we want to say is that it can be done, but it depends on where you are at. You see, when you're seeing through the love and light, and you're applying that, and you're saying, I'm gonna have an experience according to what I want to create, regardless of what the society has said, you see, or what I have learned from it. I can do it, and so I will.
As long as you believe it. So
that's why there are people even that they say, how can you be so slim and you eat a lot? You see, and we'll say, I don't know, it's just how I am, because they have that strong belief. They know they're slim and they know they can eat a lot, and therefore they do it. You see, and they don't gain weight because that's the belief they have, until maybe something might change in their belief, and then they might gain weight. And that happens a lot, especially with the female beings when they go through pregnancy. You see, they have the belief that now that they have kids, it is more likely that they might gain weight. We're not talking about everyone, but we're just giving as an example. You see, because they might start eating more due to feeling stressed, or feeling more pressure, you see, or the new changes or things like that, you see. And that means that what they're eating, they might not be in alignment with what they're eating. They just might eating in a rush, you see, and things like that. So they're not that in a place where the energy is it's a split, let's say, you see. And that can put that weight that they, in a way, they believing that it can happen.
Yes.
You see, but in other cases, it just doesn't. You see, so your beliefs, because beliefs are what you consider to be true.
Yes.
You see.
Yes.
So that will have an impact, or it's going to affect how you live your life, you see, how you see life, especially when you're not in charge, you see, as the true being that you are, but you're just experiencing through that human aspect of you that is your vehicle.
Yes.
But it needs someone to be the driver, and that should be you as your true self, deciding how you are going to experience your reality.
Yeah. Create your own beliefs. We keep getting evidence of what we believe, so we keep believing it. So
because you are aligning with that.
Yeah, I prefer to believe that a slice of cake is just as healthy as eating a carrot.
And so it is. This being, then I start thinking, well, if that happens, that means that I will be eating just cake all the time.
You get sick of it.
Not necessarily. And would say that she's already doing that, you see.
She's eating a lot of cake. And she's not getting fat.
No, because now her expectations have changed, you see. Doesn't mean that she's only eating that, of course, you see.
No.
She's eating other things, and she enjoys all the meals that she's having, you see. She's just having a different experience.
Yeah.
And when it comes about cake, she's not thinking about, okay, I have to be stopping or not, but rather thinking where I am at before I consume this,
yes,
before I eat this. There has been time where she felt that she wanted to have some cake, but then she said, okay, where I am at, and then she can find that she's not totally in peace because she already has some pieces of cake before, you see. So therefore she stops and says, no, I'm not in alignment. I know that I'm not getting, and she said, I know that everything is fine. My body is just doing the best, you see, getting rid of whatever it needs to, let's say, and keep it what is good.
Yes.
So she's having an idea, and therefore so it is. But now she's saying, no, but I think I had enough of this for now, because I'm feeling that I had such a great experience before, and I'm happy with that.
Sure.
For now, you see. Maybe tomorrow I'll have it again, you see. So she's also talking to herself differently, you see, in relation to food, rather than saying, oh, I'm gonna get fat if I have that one more piece.
Yes.
You see.
Yes. Yeah, that's really good. It's that awareness, and being at peace with it, and then being present while having it. And that was always my thing, you know. I used to eat because I had to, and if it was lunch at work, I'd be thinking about what's happened before, what's going to happen after lunch, what I've got to do. I'd be quickly eating it down. It could even be watching a video maybe from YouTube or something at the same time, so my attention was not there. But once brought it back to the food and really took that as an experience to eat it and say I'm going to enjoy each flavor, even thank the food first for taking that form for me to enjoy. It all made a difference. It's much more pleasurable to eat now.
Because you are there. You're giving your attention to it, you see. Because it is your creation too. So you are enjoying that creation, you see.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is.
Yeah. But I was always at peace not eating vegetables. That was okay. It's only other people chirping at me. Which I didn't.
We are not saying that people have to stop eating what they believe is good for them, like the so-called vegetables.
Yeah, because if they believe it, they have to.
That, you see, if they're happy with that, and if they enjoy that, and they're happy with that belief, then that's fine for them.
Yeah.
You see, and being present, eating those vegetables, then it's going to be so much fun and so delightful. You see, it's gonna be such a beautiful experience. But if you say, oh, I just have to eat vegetable because I have to, then you are splitting your energies, you see.
Yeah.
Because you are not in peace with that.
Yes.
It's like you are about to experience a creation that you don't truly want to experience. And a creator will create what want to experience, you see. Or you might want to experience something that doesn't enjoy too much in order to know what you would like to experience, you see. That could happen too. But it's about knowing and be aware, you see.
Yeah. I actually ate some vegetables recently because I wanted to. I said I will have some this time. And that was fine.
That is good.
But it's really good.
We can even say that for as an example, this being has lost some of weight, you see. And it's not that she's been in a diet or things like that. She's just becoming more in peace with whatever she decides to eat, because she's been there, you see. She's been present, experiencing the meal, and be happy with it.
Yeah.
And she has the expectation that she's not going to gain weight. She's not even thinking about that anymore, you see.
It's good.
But it takes to believe it. It takes to know it. And if you try and it doesn't work the first time, well, just become aware of what's going on. Okay, it sounds like a fantasy. I really can't do that's not for me. That's what a lot of people might say. But then start applying in small bits, let's say.
Yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
Like then, just start with becoming present and be happy with your vegetables when you eat them, rather than having the idea of I must eat vegetables, but rather I want to eat vegetables for the experience.
Yes.
You see.
Yes.
That it is a change energetically.
It's a good start. Yeah.
Rather than I have to eat, otherwise I will become fat. You see, or it's gonna help me in my diet. It might, but that is also associated with another frequency, you see, that it might affect you later, because you might find it hard to keep up, you see, with the so-called diets, because you're not in line with that. You're just doing it because you believe that you have to.
Yes. Yeah.
So see where you're at and what are your beliefs of the meal that you are eating.
Yeah, people would know inside whether they're fooling themselves and just saying, I've heard I can eat cake and I won't get fat, so that means I can eat this. But if they don't really believe it...
and that's another example that we can use from this being, because she was doing that too at the start. She was saying, okay, I've been told that I can eat cake, and if I believe it, I will eat it, and I will be okay with it. You see.
Yeah.
But she was not there, and she felt it, and she still ate the cake. So she had a split energies, you see, and therefore she was gaining weight. You see.
Yes.
But now it just feels different. It's a peace with it. Can enjoy it. You see.
I like to look from the point of view, if you're looking for logic, rather than fantasy, that it is energy in essence, and everything is energy, and it's how you view that energy. It's what your beliefs come down to, and that's what happens with all of our experience with anything else in life. We get what we believe and what we expect, And if we have beliefs about food, we've been told things and heard things, and grow up hearing things about food that it's either good or bad for you. There's some of that programming going to be in there. You have to undo that programming and not believe it for there to be any effect at all. So I guess you just got to be neutral about it and say food is whatever I make of it. Whatever I think it is, it is.
Yes. And be true to yourself. See what truly you believe about the meal that you're eating. And see where you are at as well. You see which frequency you're at. Are you feeling moody, bad because of something else, and your mind is somewhere else, you see? When you become aware of that, you can even bring yourself back and be present, and starting in that moment when you are about to eat. Just say, I'm just gonna give myself time to enjoy this meal. You see? And that itself, it's making it's helping you to increase your energy, you see, because you are leaving everything else behind, and you are focusing on what is now, the act of eating, you see, and enjoying that meal that you're about to eat.
So what about, is it a split energy then? If someone's unhappy about something, they're eating food to cheer themselves up. So for me, if I was stressed or unhappy, I don't have an appetite and don't want to eat, but I am aware that other people like to have a comfort food. So maybe they'll eat cake to make themselves feel good. Saying I'm unhappy, so I'm going to cheer myself up with this cake.
Well, just see the meaning of it. They're eating the food, they're already putting a meaning to the food. In order to feel good, I'm gonna eat this. You see, rather than the same, I'm going to eat this because I want the experience, and it feels good. You see, but rather it's using the food in order to feel better. You see, it's like what we. Sorry, she was starting to think a little bit.
Okay, that's fine.
So as what we were saying before, think what you think about the food, you see, and where you are at when you are enjoying, when you are having the experience, you see. So when you are saying, okay, I'm just gonna have this, let's say, cake.
Okay.
We use cake as
Is there anything yummier than cake?
We use cake as an example because that's something that it has been recorded in this brain, let's say. It has such a...
It's yummy and naughty at the same time.
Who says that?
No, not us anymore, but people will say that. It's like, I'm going to have to cheer myself up, I'm going to have some naughty food, something fattening, or they're not thinking that, but rather it's yummy, but it's, and I don't care if it's fattening or whatever. It's like some people eat ice cream, and they'll eat lots of ice cream, and when they're unhappy, and just eat lots of ice cream. So, but people will think it doesn't matter, it's fattening, but it tastes good. Yeah. But sorry, go on.
Yes. They might say that, but they are in a certain frequency, and they are eating the ice cream through that frequency they are at, you see. So therefore, the body will take the beliefs, the tools, you see, the belief that the person believes according to the ice cream, and it's going to align to whatever potential is suitable for that potential they are at. Therefore, it could be making them fat, you see. Because food, it's a creation, and food, yes, you need it for your physical body, let's say. However, you decide what to eat, when to eat, how to eat, and the reason why. As you have said before, well, I just eat because I know I need it. But what about eating too because of the experience, you see? Yes, you have, let's say, in a way to do it, but the amount or the place where you are at is going to make a difference when you are doing the act, when you're having the experience, you see. So when someone is just saying, I'm just gonna eat that to feel better, therefore they put in the power to something else, external, rather than to themselves, you see.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
It's like saying, I'm gonna feel happy when you feel happy, you see. Or say, I was feeling good until you came along and told me this, you see.
Yes.
Might not be the same thing, but what we're trying to say is that you're saying, I'm gonna eat this to feel this.
Yes.
Rather than saying, me as the creator, I choose to feel happy, you
Yes.
see. Or I'm just gonna flip the coin and I'm gonna feel the best that I can, you see. And the best I can is going to depend according to what I think I can feel now, you see. If you don't believe that you can feel happy, then you're not going to feel happy, you see.
Yes.
But when you're just relying on ice cream or cake in order to forget whatever the issue is that you have, or the worries, or even maybe whatever you're feeling, you see, and you're just trying to feel better, well, guess what? Once the cake is gone, you're gonna feel back again whatever you were feeling before.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you see.
Yeah.
And you are relying on something else to feel good, rather than starting feeling good because you're making the choice to feel good.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. Very clear.
So therefore, before eating the meal, whatever it is, or dessert, then see where you're at and see how you feel about it, and see why you are doing it, why you are having that experience, why are you choosing that experience now? Just because I have to eat, you see, or because I'm feeling stressed and I need some cake, you see, or because I just really want to experience it. I really want to eat that now. I'm feeling a little bit hungry, and I just want that. I just want that burger, you see, or steak, or whatever it is, or vegetables, you see. I really want that, and I'm in peace with it, and I'm going to enjoy it, and it's gonna feel good.
Yeah. That just sort of brings up another point. What about Stephanie and I, we often eat different things because we're in the mood for different things. So I'd really like to enjoy this. We might not want the same thing at the same time, but a lot of people, especially in a household, a family, they eat the same food whether they like it or not, you know. Maybe the mother cooks for everybody and that's just what you get. I guess you just make peace with that. I mean, because it's nice to be able to choose your experience and say, I would like to experience this. I've got this flavor, or you know, really have a taste for pizza tonight, or something else. You know, it's whatever it is. You say, I really have that desire for that, but then you've been fed something else. Not much you can do about it.
Yes, you can do things about it. Well, let's say she was just feeling some sensations, and which was bringing her focus to it.
Okay, sure.
So we were just allowing her
That's
to
okay.
experience that.
Yeah.
So it is your choice to be in peace with what you eat, you see. Even if you might not feel like you want that right now, and you will say, well, as a creator, I want to experience something else. And therefore, you could align yourself to experience that something else, you see, according to how much you believe it. So maybe if you're in a family, let's say, and you want to eat pizza tonight, if you're in that frequency of truly believing, truly being yourself and having that desire, the way how you might approach even to your wife or family, it would be different, and it will have a different effect from them. You see, they might go along with you and say, yeah, that sounds good tonight, you know, let's have it, and therefore you end up having it. But if you are expecting, let's say that your wife, let's say for an example, will say, no, I'm gonna cook this and blah blah blah, let's say, therefore you are going to get that, because that is your expectation, and you're aligning with that frequency. You see. Another thing is, when just remember this, when you are in a household and maybe the wife feels like now she wants to cook certain meals, or according to what they have at home as well. See, also what you can do is align yourself with that. Just remember even the time that she's putting into this, and say, all right, you see, I had the taste for this, but maybe I can bring it up tomorrow. You see, and tonight, look at her. You see, I can see how much she's actually putting into this. And guess what? She's cooking with love. That food is going to have love. You see, she's taking the time, and I know that it's going to be a yummy meal, because that is my perception, regardless of how it is. You see, and you're going to value that meal differently. You're going to see it differently, and you're going to align with it. You see, because you are seeing from a different point of view. You see, rather than say, I really want a pizza tonight.
Yes.
And then you just are on the table and you have an angry face and you're just playing with the food, and your partner might see that, and then she might get angry because she will say, you don't know how much trouble I went through to make this. You see, and then that might cause an argument, and then the energies now are splitting, and you are in a different frequency. You see.
Yes.
So we are giving this example as a way to answer what you have said, because we understand that, like, if like the cases of the case of the two of you, each of you eat as what you feel, regardless of what it is. You see, from different places, and so but Stephanie also has been through what you have mentioned before. You see, when the mother cooks and everyone eats one meal, and so you see, and many families do it that way. So it's about where you are at as well. You see, your perception. If you are connected to that being that you truly are, love and light, then you're just going to experience through those eyes. You are going to experience your meal through those eyes too, because those eyes of love is going to allow you to see the actual meal and the actual experience that you are about to have through a different point of view.
Yes.
Rather than say, I really wanted this, it's going to maybe look from the point of, yes, okay, I had the taste for that, but I know that I can have it maybe tomorrow, another day. But for now, you see, I'm just gonna enjoy this meal because I know that if I see it from this point of view, it can be as yummy as I want it to be too. You see. And maybe there might be other situation with the wife, let's say, we put it as an example, might not be feeling good and just cooking in a rush, and just know, you see, it's in a different mood. But you still can align with the food regardless, you see, and you are going to experience the food as it best it can be, according to where you are at. You see, and you might even help your wife to change that frequency. Not change because it's dependent on each being having the attention, but you can give because that love that you are, because you radiate that. You see, when you are that love and light, maybe the wife, let's say, is cooking and it's a bit stressed because it is taking too long or whatever it is, and thinking about other things. You see. then by you being connected in that love and light, you might want to say something. So you might feel inspired. You might have the thought to say something nice, and that will help her. You see, just to raise that frequency.
Yes.
Even with a kiss, or even to say, "How can I help?" or whatever it is. You see.
Yeah.
And the food itself is going now aligned to a different frequency.
Yeah. That's very good. I think we've talked all about food now. Yeah. I guess if we have any questions or anything else as a follow-up, we can talk about it another time.
Yes. If we need to clarify anything, we can always talk about it again.
For sure.
Or even if we need to make it simpler, if we need to.
Yeah. Well, it's very clear what you've said. There's just so much to say that a lot gets said. So that's answered everything I've wanted to know for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. And if we need, as we say, to clarify any question or anything we have said,
yes,
we can do it again.
Yeah, we can take questions on the video if anyone has any, and we can ask.
Yes.
It's easy.
Yes.
Very easy. Okay. Well, if that's all, we'll end this session today, and we'll talk again soon.
We leave you now then in the love and the light that we all are. Enjoy your reality and everything that you do in it.
Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for all your guidance.
Thank you for your time.
Pleasure. Time. You don't have any time.
We'll leave you now.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.